you doing?
Great. How's it going, everybody?
Awesome. We were just waiting for you. Welcome to our Soap Hub Insider Fireside Chat. These are our fans, and you're here with fans and our staff.
Hi, y'all.
We cannot wait to get the show on the road.
Eric,
how are you, buddy? I'm very well. How are you?
Awesome. I'm very well, thanks too. Thanks for asking.
I'm warm though. I'm very hot. It's getting very hot here in Los Angeles by the minute.
Tell us about rideshare and your character Keith, who is described as a dangerous con man who preys on the guise of friendly rideshare drivers. This sounds like every rideshare driver nightmare our parents are telling us about.
Right. And the funny thing is, even before this project came around, I was always skeptical of the whole Uber concept, just especially the group Uber, where you get in and you just kind of trust that this driver is going to take you from A to B and you're going to be safe. And then you just get in a car with other strangers. I mean, back in the day when I was a kid, if a strange car drove up into our driveway at our house in Pennsylvania and some strange guy said, "Hey, get in, come on." I mean, my dad would probably, call the cops. The concept of Uber was just crazy. So we have this implicit trust where we get in these cars and we just go. And so Keith kind of represents the the nightmare passenger, where whether you're a driver or whether you're a passenger, he manipulates the system, and he has this tendency to live on the edge and just kind of do things that are against our moral fabric as people in society. And to me, he kind of does what we all think about doing, but we don't, because we're good people and we stop. This guy, he just goes for it. And it's fun to play. He's a little bit like Brady Black from Days, in the sense that kind of acts before he thinks. He just kind of feels it and does it instead of really thinking it out. Sort of. I mean, you guys know Brady. He just the decisions he makes are just hilarious sometimes. Yeah, he's a tough one to say no to.
Let me ask you more about Keith. Does he have any redeemable qualities? I mean, is he an anti-hero, or is he just a straight out antagonist?
No, he is layered. As the series goes on, we come to understand why he does the things he does, and he can't con good people. That's like his kryptonite. If he realizes this person is a good person, he really doesn't want to steal their car or take their money or shoot them or whatever he plans to do. So he has that.
When you say about saying yes too much, actually, I think it was Lucille Ball who said the reason she works so much is, she said, you say yes to everything. Now, certainly not everything, but I think keeping open, even before the business has changed so much as it is with streaming platforms and people creating their own content, I do think it's a good idea to always give things a firm, sounds good to me.
I will say there was one time I said no. I said no to my first movie offer because it turned out to be an adult film, like a pornographic film. And I had no idea that it was such, because the audition was simply a guy talking about his divorce. It was a well-written monologue. The auditioners were very lovely people, and they did ask me, "Do you have anything against love scenes?" And I said, "Do I have a problem with love scenes?" No, love scenes are fine. Not really understanding what they were asking me. I was sent the script, went to the part where I had my monologue, found it, and on the next page, I'm involved in some pretty interesting love sequences that were beyond my morality. So,
wow.
Yeah, that warmed me up for passions, I'll tell you that.
We've seen baby swap storylines a lot, but the one that Days just told, the twists and the performance levels were off the charts. And I think therein lies the difference for, viewer engagement. If they see something, oh yeah, we've seen this before, but no one could take their eyes away, because they're really, I guess for Victor maybe and Xander a little, there really was no bad guy in this last baby swap story. Certainly not between the mothers. They were innocent in all this.
Yeah. I mean, one could make the argument that Xander and Victor did a big no-no.
Well, true. Yes.
But they
have
did.
to have some instigators and antagonists. Absolutely.
However, and thank you for your compliment about the storyline. I would echo that. I
You're
think
all
also an
wonderful.
element, I thought also an element that made it interesting to tie this whole thing together is the chance that Ron took on the time jump. Some
Yep.
people were like, oh no. And others were like, okay, wait a minute. You know, Jennifer wakes up in her hospital bed. She's like, how long has it been? It's been a year. And you have all these chess pieces that have been moved around. You know, I'm fired from Titan. How'd that happen? You know, I have a daughter. Wait, what? Or I don't have it, you know, so there was such a mystery entrenched as to what happened to these babies. How did this happen? And
Right.
I thought that was unique. That hadn't been done before. And once again, you gotta take some chances, right? That you're not always going to hit a home run every time, but if you don't swing, you're not going to hit. So I thought it worked out well, and I thought that was an element that made that swap even more intriguing because you were dumbfounded as to how these circumstances came about.
Back this week, correct?
Taping, yes. My second day of work was yesterday, and we are back and rolling, and it's weird because of all the precautionary measures that we're taking. It is different. It's not as social. It's not as there's not as many hugs going on, if any, none, honestly. But we're getting it done. We're creating more new content, so it's exciting.
Are you actually social distancing in the scenes, but not in an obvious way?
We are. We are definitely taking the measures seriously. We have, like the other show has, I believe we're using the same COVID organization that the other shows are utilizing. So we're all playing under the same rules and under the same umbrella. And there's a COVID cop. She is standing there just staring you down, watching you. And it's kind of intimidating. I'm like, she have to stare at me. What's going on? Like, don't get too close to her, you know? But hey, that's the world we're in right now. And, you know, in order to make new content, I'm willing to play by the rules. It's okay.
It's going to be a little different now because you're not going to be 8 months out with
right.
Series.
Weren't we so smart to do that?
You actually, it was fantastic to actually have a soap opera to watch new. Wow.
It's like we knew the virus was coming. We're like, we're going to need at least 8 months cushion here. So.
And
no.
Apparently you've known for years. Days of Our Lives is known for years because it was.
Oh yeah. We not only bring people back from the dead. Dr. Rolf can also dictate the future. So he told us.
How would you feel if Brady, you know, he has Rachel now, but like if Tate returned and Tate is older, went through a little bit of Saurus and be a different kind of story?
Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, that happened to me on Passions. It was so funny because, remember, I don't know if you recall, Ethan's son was named Little Ethan. You know, it's a real brain teaser on that one. So Little Ethan, I remember one spring, he was like 4 or 5, maybe. We come back in the summer and he's like 13 or 11. I don't know. He aged like 6 years in a season. But it was fun because then you could finally relate and talk. And, you know, I have boys, I have 14-year-old twins. And so I would love to have that kind of adjustment and have that kind of, I feel like I'm always holding infants and crying. I always have babies, but I never have like children. And I would love that. I would love to have a teenager on the show. It's great. It'd be fun.
Well, thank you. That was really cool. We love listening to you, and our fans are eager and excited to ask you some questions themselves. So we're going to go ahead and turn it over to our fans. The first question, Nicole, are you ready to ask Eric a question?
So, like, I was just wondering, like, how you're doing, like, coping with, you know, the whole virus and everything.
I'm bored off my butt. Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm a social guy. You know, I love to get out there. I do soap events all the time. I'm always flying around to different cities, and I love people. I love normal people. I love crazy people. I love silly people. I love them all. And when I'm not around people, I tend to get a little, I get cabin fever very easily. So it's been a real struggle.
Lynn, are you ready to ask your question?
So what I wanted to know, this is something that I find fascinating. as an actor, you're thrust into a situation with a love interest on screen, and you've had many. Who are your favorites, the most fun to act with, and especially those awkward bedroom scenes? Who is the most fun in that situation?
I love it, Lynn. Your first question to me, who's the most fun in the sack? Oh, man. You literally have asked me the one question that I can't truly answer, because you understand, if I pointed out a favorite, that I would have like 8 or 9 or 10 women texting me, hey, wait a minute, I thought I was, I always say it like this, and I don't know if you're gonna like this answer or not. This is a metaphor. It's like Baskin Robbins, okay? You go in, there's all these different flavors, and they're all good. They really are. They're different, Chocolate's fine, but Rocky Road is really, really interesting too. But it's good to have a variety. If there was just one favorite that everyone liked, Baskin Robbins would have just one tub of one flavor. And you go in and get your ice cream because that's everyone's favorite. So I don't have a favorite, Lynn. I honestly, they all are like different flavors of ice cream. Melanie's like my strawberry, and Madison James was my pecan praline, and Chloe was, you get the point. They're all just different.
I wanted to know, like, what was your first professional job?
Oh. Well, I guess you'd have to say it was Hershey Park. I was a performer and singer at Hershey Park while I was in college. During the summers, that's what I would do. I was in 2 rock shows, did it for 4 years, 2 rock shows, a Gershwin review, and then a country show. And I did get paid for it. It was 5 shows a day in the Harrisburg heat and in the middle of the summer. And I'm wearing a tux trying to sing, Gershwin music. And it was just crazy. We worked so hard.
Thank you guys, everyone, for attending our fireside. There was so much fun today. And aside from all of the technical issues, that was actually really hilarious in itself. Yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope you guys come back for our fireside next week with Vincent Irizarry. Definitely cool. We're looking forward to talking to him. Demos, come back.
Yeah, Demos. He got killed, didn't he? Yeah.
He did.
But we're gonna Dr. Rolf in here and
yeah.
That's true. That's true. As long as Dr. Rolf is around, anything's game.
You're never really dead. So we always have hope for all of our favorites to come back.
that used to be the big, the one thing that we always resented or regretted or we feared was that we were going to get that script that we were killed off. And now it's like, oh, it's no big deal. Just come back in a month.
Yeah.
This is true.
It is true, but hey, it's job security. I like Dr. Rolf.
Yeah.
Dr. Rolf's job, that's great.
Instant job security.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you again so much. Everybody, please give him our best Zoom hands.
Zoom hands.
Thank you very much.
No, I want to
tell them how to get their cards, how to get their gift cards.
We're going to reach out. If you're a Soap Hub Insider, we have your information, but send us an email to news@soaphub.com just in case. And of course, we can see you, Eric, every day in our screens and at all of the other wonderful events and rideshare. So thank you again. And thank you for reminding me. I was getting so excited there.
I appreciate you all very, very much. Thank you to Soap Hub. You guys are terrific. You are
Thank you, Eric.
Big players in the game, and thank you for supporting our genre. You keep us rolling, man. So
You're very welcome.
Love you.
You are very welcome. Bye.
Bye, guys. I'll see you soon.
Hope so.
Yes.